It is time now to know what's on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. Journalist Ify Onyegbule joins me via Zoom, and President Yewa-Awori Youth Council Abayomi Oke-Asiwaju is here in the studio. Ify, good morning. Abayomi, good morning.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Ify, let me begin with you. Okay, before we come to you, let's quickly look at the stories on the headlines. We begin with the Nigerian News Direct. Nationwide blackout as national grid collapses again. Underinvestment, major impediment in Nigeria's power transmission. You find details of this story on the pages of the News Direct. To the blueprints, 5 years after, court ends El-Zakzaky wife Zinat's trial, says Kaduna State government has no powers to prosecute offense retrospectively. You find details of the story on the pages of the blueprint. To the leadership newspaper now, economic disruptions will make 1 in 3 Nigerians jobless in 4 years, federal government. Economic disruptions will make 1 in 3 Nigerians jobless in 4 years. You find details on the pages of the leadership newspaper. All right, to the national economy, capital importation down to 5-year low ahead 2023 elections. Capital importation down to 5-year low ahead 2023 elections. To the business day, haulage cost halves as electronic call-up eases port congestion. Haulage costs halves as electronic call-up eases port congestion. To the Daily Times, 24 hours after CBN ban, Naira slumps to 522 Naira to $1 in black market. Experts express mixed reactions as BDCs, that's Bureau de Change, worry over directive. To the Guardian newspaper, unease in forex markets as dollar heads towards 550 to $1. Naira sees biggest plunge day after CBN forex ban. CBN maintains stance as Bureau de Change seek truce. This will move market away from rate convergence. Adonri insists BDCs are anti-market creation, leaving borrowed time. Retired banker. Banks can't be trusted. May hoard dollar, may Lafia says. All right. To the Daily Trust newspaper now, job loss, inflation loom as BDC operators lament new CBN forex policy. Naira in sharp fall, scarcity hits market. Banks ill-prepared to fill gap findings. Ex-CBN chief faults policy says banks can't be trusted. All right, to this day newspaper, Supreme Court judgment in Ondo governorship sets off another legal crisis in APC. Yewa-Awori, one ruling party of dire consequences of keeping Buni PDP to Yobe governor, resign now. Your position in APC is illegal. All right. To the Nation newspaper, Akeredolu verdict, danger ahead. Yewa-Awori wants APC. Minister says Buni's legitimacy to lead party has collapsed. Congresses should be halted. It's time for APC chairman to go, says PDP. Buhari Oyetola, APC hail court judgment. To the First newspaper, U.S. Senate blocks $875 million arms sale to Nigeria, cites poor human rights record for action. To the Nigerian Tribune, U.S. lawmakers block sale of 875 million weapons to Nigeria, cite poor human rights record as well. To the Vanguard newspaper now, U.S. lawmakers stop $875 million arms sale to Nigeria. U.S. senators delay approval of proposed sale of 12 AH-1 Cobra attack helicopters, accompanying defense system, cite human rights violations, anti-democratic action by federal government. Nigeria will get anything it needs from U.S. presidency. Nigeria at mercy of bandits, insurgents, UK parliamentarians speaking there. All right. To the Daily Sun now. Federal government issues flood alert in 28 states. Tells Nigerians to expect heavy flooding, aiding states hit by flood disaster. And finally, on the Punch newspaper, federal government lines up 36 billion naira for COVID-19 third wave. 4,261 cases recorded in 30 days. Well, federal government told us each state would receive 1 billion naira before end of July. Benue Commissioner, federal government, states officials meet next week, plan how coronavirus cash will be spent. All right. Ify, let's begin with you, and we'll take this story because it has been generating reactions. It's almost on all the pages of the papers this morning, talking about CBN's directive that BDCs, that's Bureau de Change, will no longer be selling dollars. Let me just use the street parlance there. Will not be in the mix when it comes to the sale of dollars. And we have seen that Naira has faced a sharp fall rather, from to 522 Naira to $1. And reactions have been coming. Some are saying that banks cannot be trusted, banks do not have the capacity. But what do you make of this development?
I want to agree with those who, first of all, good morning to everyone who's watching. I'm actually out of Lagos, but it's good to join you via this medium this morning. I want to align with those who are not interested in what it is that's going on, or those who are not in tune with what it is that the banks will be doing, because I've had the idea of wanting to get cash from the bank, and they give you all sorts of stories. There are persons, when you talk about the BDCs, people who are in that, let me call it that sector now, people who give you some money when you go to exchange money as it is. If you talk about those who sell dollars, you find out that these are people, some of them are trusted. You need it, you call them up, they bring it to you, and you make the exchange. You go your way, they go their ways. Now, are you thinking of what it's going to be when you go to the bank and you want to collect your money? Are you also thinking about what it's going to be when we talk about the exchange as it is? So I foresee a lot of chaos as it is. I don't want to sound very pessimistic this morning, but I see something that might not, something that is actually dead on arrival. How do you just completely take out those people in the mix? It's something that I think government needs to take a look at again. You just talked about the free fall. Someone sent me that message to say to me, this is what the dollar is now to the Naira. And I just shook my head and said to myself, nothing in Nigeria, nothing goes up in Nigeria and comes down as it is. It continues to go up. And I'm just hoping that we don't wake up one morning to hear that a dollar is now going for 1,000 as it is. It's a sad story, Veronica, but let's just fold our arms and watch and see how this unfolds.
Let's bring the conversation to the studio. Abayomi, I wonder what your reaction is to this development. Banks, as seemingly as a lot of persons are saying, and what Ify too is saying, are seemingly not prepared for this. This is coming like all of a sudden. Though the CBN had done this in 2016, and then somehow it was reversed or reverted to how it is. And then the question is regulations. Why didn't you put regulations in place to, curtail the activities of the BDCs? Why this complaint? Why are you not, those who you see are faulting or flouting the rules, perhaps jailed or something? What are we not doing right? Okay,
let me start by saying that whether we get it right or not, that is in terms of policy formulation and, of course, policy implementation. Some set of people will definitely benefit from it. That is, if you get it right, they will benefit from it. If you don't get it right, they would, capitalize on the loophole and also make something out from it. But we can't shy away from the fact that the number of BDCs increased from just less than 100 some years ago to now thousands. We now have over 5,000 BDCs in Nigeria. That's because the banks did not get it right. Now, an average Nigerian find it difficult to walk into a bank and get their dollars exchanged easily. And they now find solace in the hands of the BDCs. Whether the BDCs are extorting Nigerians, whether they are milking Nigerians, Nigerians do not care. What they just want to get is, can I get this thing done easily? So if at the end of the government, you have not successfully implemented a policy that will make that process to be seamless and easy for Nigerians, they will definitely opt for the other option, whether it is affecting them or not. Now, in the words of the CBN governor, it's more like he implemented this now, or he just introduced this ban now, not for the sake of Nigerians, like he's working for us, like he's feeling our pain. Oh, you guys are going through a lot. These PDC people, they are extorting you and all that, so we need to save you. The Nigerians are saying, hello. The banks that are the alternative, in fact, we are finding it difficult to scale through when we have transactions with them. So please, leave us with these, our BDCs, or probably I say our Aboki friends. Leave us with them. We know how to run things on the street, and we know how to get our things done. So for me, I just feel that, just like you have said, can we get it done? Can we get it right in terms of policy formulation, also policy implementation? If you want to leave these things in the hands of the bank, can we make it seamless? Why is that in this part of the world we believe that if a process is not difficult, our people will not appreciate it? Because I see it that way. Things that should have been done.
What the CBN governor said is that the banks should create a teller point where people can, just walk straight up there and then do whatever it is.
We don't have that in some of the banks.
I'm saying what he's saying. I'm not saying we don't have that in the bank.
We have it already.
But has that made anything seamless?
At all. That's what we are saying. After that's when Nigerians are finding, comfort in the hands of these BDCs. And if you now say, let's shut down BDCs, that means we will be at the mercy of banks. And who says that there are no unscrupulous elements working in the bank that will also take advantage of this, because they know that they appear to be the only option now. So you just notice that because, of course, since there is no competition, what do you expect? The only person that has monopolized the market can do and undo. So I think this market, in the economic terms, should just be left competitive. We should not just leave it in the hands of the banks, because they don't manage it.
Are even working in affiliation with some banks.
Of course. That's the truth now. Because sometimes we walk into the bank, we want to change our dollars to naira, they will still direct you back to their friend who they have a relationship with.
All right, let's come back to you, Ify.
I just think it's a good one. Remember what it was. There were courts had actually said to government, you need to let these people go, and they kept them there for God knows how long. But it was good news for me when I heard it, or when I read it, to say that they have been discharged and, of course, acquitted. But so many people have been saying all sorts. For me, I'm saying, look, the man has been through a lot with his wife. When you put yourself in their positions, you will understand that these people have been through a lot. And I'm just thinking that people should just let them be. Let this man and his wife be, instead of all the talks going around. I heard something where some people had to say that they had to release this gentleman and his wife just because they wanted to appease the North. I know that people like to say things when something happens, but we need to look at the matter, look at what it is, look at what this person has been through, think about the issues around this man who's been behind bars for God knows how long. So as it is now, I think the privacy is what truly matters, so that they can get their acts together. So many things must have happened for as long as they've been away. It is for them to do some catch-up now. We just need to stop playing politics with some of the things that's going on. Nigeria should be the project, and we must begin to think about it, because as you see, 2023 is behind the corner. How are we finding our way there? All of these distractions are things that Nigerians need to look away from. The big picture is what we should focus on, and I think that's the way to go.
Absolutely. The justice said that the case was lacking in merit, but do you see the judgment being respected by the government, Abayomi? Because that's the other matter on the minds of a lot of persons.
I have two questions first. And the first question is, Kaduna State government, didn't they know, or are they not aware, that the offense they charged this man and his wife for wasn't an offense as at the time they charged the couple? Number one question. Number two is that why did it take the court so long to vindicate this man and his wife. You see, we must shy away from using emotions to, letting emotions prevail over our actions. And I think that's exactly what played out with Kaduna State government. Now, you want to nail this man, but you didn't tidy up the case very well. Now, you are nailing a man for an offense that wasn't an offense
at the time.
As at the time the so-called offense, was committed, because you have done quite a lot of damage to this man, to his family, to his reputation, and of course, even considering the lives lost in the process of, demanding for justice for him by his followers. So I think it's in line if his lawyers decided to, seek
but
for.
do you think, the question is, do you think the government will respect this judgment?
Should they have a choice?
Right. Let me ask Ify finally before we move, we wrap up now. Ify, do you think government will respect this judgment?
Just as the gentleman in the studio there has said, they do not have a choice, because whether we like it or not, the eyes of the world is right there on government. They just have to do the right thing. You can't continue to disobey court judgment as it is. Just let them go. Whatever it is, find a way. If you have your case presented, but if the court says let them go, I wonder why it is you're going to be holding a man and his wife. Yes, let them go.
All right, Ify Onyegbule, journalist and President, Yewa-Awori Youth Council, Abayomi, Oke-Asiwaju, thank you for your time on the newspaper.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right.